Hey guys, and welcome to another episode of Facebook Friday. Eric Hammond here with the Orange Stack. Today we're live in Oceanside. It's a beautiful sunny day here. It's actually Veterans Weekend. And you know, I've been thinking about the VAs in my life and who I know, my dad being one of them, so thanks Dad for serving. But you know, Oceanside is a huge military area. There's actually 3 military bases within probably 30 miles of where I live here in northern San Diego. And you know, Oceanside's a big one, so I thought I'd come out here to Oceanside. And if any of you recognize this relic here, this is actually one of my wife's favorite places. So I'll give you a second to look at it while I'm out of the screen here. This is actually the house from Top Gun. While I know it's you know, not a military movie, it was definitely about the Air Force and you know, some of the things that happened in that, which is fictional, but still a very interesting movie nonetheless. So if you recognize this house from the movie, obviously the area has changed since the 80s, but still a big thing. This house is actually for sale. From what I've heard, you can buy it for $1. So if you're interested in purchasing a home here in Oceanside, you can get it for $1. Problem is you have to move it because they're trying to build a hotel in its spot in the background here. So anyway, the reason I bring this up today is that I want to talk to you about setting more appointments. You know, that's something that a lot of people do. They need to prospect, they need to find, you know, new customers, new clients, people to work with on a daily basis. We talked about your hour of power the other day, and you know, really the effort that you put into lead generating every single day. One of the ways that I got my start was spending a lot of time on the phone every single day. So I would pick up the phone, I'd call, you know, couple hundred people each day. I would spend 4 to 8 hours on the phone, depending on the day and what I had going on. But I've been prospecting on the phone for probably going on about 8 years now. It's not something that I do as consistently now as I did back then because I've got more business and I've got more things going on, but it's something that I try to do as often as I can. I'm very comfortable on the phone. I've spent a lot of time on the phone. I've made thousands and thousands and thousands of phone calls. And the reason why I wanted to film here is because this house, this is actually, this blue one, was the type of home that I was targeting when I got comfortable on the phone. So when I was getting into my phone skills, I was calling ugly homes. Now, it's not the architecture of the home, but it's actually the condition of it, right? This one's pretty rough. This one's quite the teardown, but because it's a historic relic, they want to keep it. So I was calling with the intentions of buying homes for investors, to try to flip homes, to try to sell to other investors. And then as I progressed into real estate, I was trying to set appointments with for sale by owners, trying to list their home, trying to get us more property to sell. That was my goal. So, you know, those are the intentions of my phone calls as a real estate background. You know, a lot of people that I work with in the insurance industry and other fields, they're, you know, obviously calling for different reasons, but they're still trying to get clients, and that's the point. So I wanted to give you kind of 10 ideas on how to help really maximize the appointments that you get and what you're doing with that time. So the first part of this call is going to be the preparation. So, you know, what you're doing to actually prepare for that phone call. You know, what are the steps that you're going to do? There's actually 5 steps on preparation and 5 steps on your mindset and really what's going on in your head mentally. So the first one is to create a appointment setting cocoon. You want to have a little office, a phone booth, if you will, something that you can go into, shut the door, lock it, and have all the privacy that you need to just buckle down and get your stuff done. The last thing you want is to be in an open area where people are bothering you, questioning you, asking you questions. Hey, can I help you with this? Can you go talk to me about that? You know, just get yourself in that little cocoon, block yourself out, and be able to just shut out life and get on the phone and dial away. That's probably your biggest bet because you're going to get through more numbers that way. The next one is to have a headset. So, you know, get some earbuds, get something in your head that you can, again, not have to use your hand to hold all the time, because having that, you'll get fatigue. You want to be able to move your hands around, you want to be able to take notes, you want to be able to have action and movement and be able to just freely walk around. I pace a little bit when I'm on the phone, so, you know, just be ready for whatever, but having a headset's going to be a huge help for that. Getting a Bluetooth one's even awesome, or more awesome, because you can walk around and be free of the wires. Number 3 is know who you're calling. I hate the guys that just show up and be like, all right, I'm ready to go, who should I call today? You got to have it planned out, you know, well in advance. You got to know who your weeks are in advance, who you're going to be calling. Have your list, be ready for it, know what you're going to say, know what your scripts are going to be for that moment, and be ready to hammer it hard. So have your phone list order so that you can call the maximum amount of people. You know, we're typically calling, you know, 200 to 300 people in an hour in the team that I ran. So that's a lot of phone numbers. That's a lot of, you know, being ready for that. We would prepare months in advance for the people that we were going to call in, knowing ahead of time exactly what we're going to say to those people. So the next one, at number 4, is have open times in your appointment schedule. So if I knew that Friday at 2 o'clock I was ready for an appointment, when I'm calling throughout the week, I'm visualizing meeting with these people Friday at 2 o'clock. You know, I'm going to try to structure the conversation around meeting Friday at 2 o'clock. I'm going to keep that in my mind so it's always fresh. I'm trying to condition the person on the phone to accept me to come over Friday at 2 o'clock. It's just there. So before you make your phone calls, have it on your calendar really clear. I would try to schedule at least 5 appointments a week, 1 each day, block it out. Maybe you have, you know, Thursdays as your appointment day, whatever it is, but know when your open times are so that you can kind of coach the call to go in that direction so that you can meet with the people on the open times that you have. The last thing you want to do is someone say, yeah, I can meet right now, let's come over, and you have to drop your phone calling, you have to, you know, leave your office and go to them. That's going to throw up your whole schedule. You're not going to get your calls on that day. You got to have open blocks in your schedule for that kind of stuff. Tip number 5 is have your scripts up and ready. Put them on the wall, you know them, memorize them. I used to carry them around in my pocket in a sheet like this so I could read them on my off times when I was stuck in traffic. I'm trying to memorize them and know what's going on, but being able to rehearse those scripts and know your dialogues and know what you're going to say to people is super important. So be ready for it. If you can, put them on the wall next to where you're calling. Be able to look at them all the time. Even if you've been a vet of calling for, you know, 5-10 years, you're still going to have a hiccup once in a while. You're going to get one that you're not used to. Just be ready for it. Have your scripts for that phone call all up on the wall. Okay, now we're going to jump into mindset. Mindset is huge. You know, it makes or breaks you. It definitely can, you know, prevent you from calling that day. You might be saying, no, I'm busy today, I don't need to call, but having that mindset of I have to call, it's the support of my business, it's what I need to do, that's what's going to keep you going. Again, sorry for the noise here, guys. We're in like the middle of Oceanside here, so hopefully you can hear me well. The first one is give your prospecting a name, right? Don't call it prospecting because that's lame. You got to have a good name. So I call mine my hour of power. Sometimes it becomes 4 hours of power. But you got to call it something clever that you're super excited about, you're motivated, maybe it's hashtag hour of power, whatever it is, come up with something clever that you can name it, and that becomes your brand and what you're going to talk about. Okay, the next one is get your blood flowing. You know, before any phone calling period, I would go walk around the office, I'd kind of march around, get my blood flowing. We actually were on the second floor of the building that we're in, so I'd go run up and down the stairs in the stairwell a bunch to kind of keep things going, just, you know, get moving and get used to, you know, being up and around and having things going. If you're sitting there and you're kind of hunched over on the phone, it's going to come across in your voice. But if you know, do some push-ups, do some jumping jacks, whatever it is, just get your heart going, get your heart racing. That's going to help a ton in you being excited and motivated, and you're going to come across that way on the phone. So that's a big one, get your blood flowing. Next one is incantations. A lot of people call these, I can't think of another word that people use, but that's a Tony word. Tony Robbins uses the word incantations. It's basically chanting something, you know, fist bumping, if you will, getting yourself excited. It's, you know, I command myself now to make the most of this call, to give the most energy that I can, like those kind of things that you're gonna just empower your phone call, empower yourself, get yourself excited. It's kind of a motivation pep talk, something that you can chant and put all your energy into. So incantations are huge. Definitely Google incantations by Tony Robbins. He's a big advocate of it. And then another big one I love is playing music. You know, maybe you're in an office so you don't want to play it too loud, but maybe you get some headphones, some Bose headphones where they cover your ears and you can just jam, right? I used to listen to that Fight song by Rachel, I can't remember her name before. I would just get myself super pumped up to call. I love that song. There's a lot of other good music that just get your blood flowing, get yourself excited, get your heart rate up. That's the big thing, man. You lose so much energy when you're on the phone, and it's gonna come across that way. If you're the boring phone person, it's gonna be heard. So you gotta get it up, get your music going, get yourself excited. The last one, tip number 10, is make it a game. Find a partner. I talk about this a lot. If you don't have a call partner, somebody you can bounce ideas off of, someone that you can go head to head with, have a contest of how many phone calls and how many appointments you can get that day. Maybe make it a week contest. Every week you got to take the guy out to lunch who lost or won, whatever it is. Make it fun, make it exciting, keep your stats, know your numbers. If you have a team of callers, it's even better because you can kind of play against each other. Make it just super exciting. So those are my 10 tips. The more fun you have, the better mindset you have, the more preparation you have, the better your appointments are going to go. So I hope these tips help you in your business. If you spend any time on the phone, even if you don't, make some effort to get on the phone and do something amazing with your prospecting. It's going to help. You know, it's probably the fastest per hour lead generation activity that you can do besides spending money on a platform like Facebook, social media, something like that. So hope you guys are enjoying your Veterans Weekend. I know I am. Again, my name is Eric with Orange Stack. I appreciate you following along. We'll catch you next week, Fridays at 10 a.m. Pacific time. Make it a great one. Thanks, guys.